Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to cover Azure Document Intelligence. So this is extremely useful service in Azure in terms of AI. So for this particular video, I'll be showcasing with the help of this simple PDF. It is a free PDF that I found online. It doesn't belong to any specific company. It's not a real invoice. It's totally fake. But I'll be using this PDF. But the same functionality is going to work for image as well. So before we go into that, let's first understand what exactly is document intelligence. So there are two things here. First is OCR. So optical character recognition is quite famous. So whenever you have any image, if you upload that image to any OCR app, it will be able to read all of that text, whatever is present in that image. Same thing goes for PDF as well. So if you see this PDF, it has all these different text, and this is an image. It's not a PDF created out of Word. So this is totally an image. So if I upload this PDF into any OCR portal, it will be able to read whatever text is present in here. And the specialty of document intelligence is it can not only read the text, but also it can identify graphs, it can identify different tables as well, and it will give out the exact table in the same order without losing any data or without losing the order of rows and columns. So the second advantage is if you're using document intelligence and if your document itself has a split layout. So let's say we will have some PDFs where half of the information will be in the left side and half of the information will be on the right side, which is quite common for resumes or invoices, pay slips, those kind of things. So in that case, when you're using other services, they'll go line by line. But because this has been split into like left and right, line by line is not a proper way to do it. But Azure Document Intelligence will identify those kind of layouts, and it will automatically read all of the left part first and then it will go back to the right part. So there are quite a bit of handy features in Azure Document Intelligence. We'll explore some of those functionality today. Before we do dive into the code, you will have to deploy the document intelligence on Azure portal, and you have to get some environment variables. If I go into the readme file, let me render this one. So here you can see we have to create a .env file with these two key names: Azure underscore document underscore intelligence underscore endpoint and key. Both of these things have to be created in the .env file. You can find both of these in the Azure portal the moment you deploy the service. So if you're not completely sure what is a .env file, what are these environment variables and all, you will have to watch my GenAI crash course playlist. In the very first video, I've explained in detail on what are environment variables, how can they be used, how can I use them in normal Python repository. All those things have been clearly explained, so I highly recommend you to watch that if you are not aware of what are environment variables. So here I've already created the .env file and I've placed the endpoint and the key inside. So let's start with the code directly. I've created this very simple notebook, but here I'm loading the environment variables. Next, I'm creating a client. So using these variables, I'm connecting it to the Azure portal client to my endpoint. Okay, once that is done, the most basic functionality of document intelligence is OCR. So what I will be doing is I'll pass the name of the PDF here, the file path, and I'll send it to the OCR function. And this function is going to read all of the text and it will return the text directly. Let's run this one. First I'll run the previous one. Now this. So this should give out entire text present in the file. There you go. So this is a PDF, so it is working fine. I can also upload PNG, JPG, WebP, all these different sort of data types as well. It's completely up to me. Next, we have the layout part. So if you see the previous function, in the begin analyze document, I'm passing the function as pre-built hyphen read. Pre-built hyphen layout is going to be used for getting the layout of it. So in the layout part, you can get different tables, graphs, and normal text. So here I'm using the result, and from the result I'm extracting my text content. Next, I'm using the result of table to extract my different tables, and I'm putting them in a proper table format with the help of row index and column index and all these different parameters. I'm putting all of them into my tables list, and I'm passing the list here, and I'm using the same Word document here. So if I go into the actual PDF, here you can see this has three different tables, 1, 2, and 3. Let's take a look at the first one. We have invoice number, order number, invoice date, total due. All of these come under one table, and you can see in the result how that table is going to look like soon. Okay, in about 7 seconds it was able to read all of that, and all of this is just text. And if I go here, you can see tables, which is a list of lists. So let's print all of that properly. This is the extracted text, and if I scroll down, we have tables. So word to word, whatever we have in those tables have been extracted properly. So there's no misadjustment in rows or the order or the column order, none of those things. Next we have invoice. So let's say if you have certain entities that you want to be extracted, like the invoice number, invoice address, invoice person, or even within that address, if you want to identify what is the home number, what is the PO box number, city, state, country, all these different things fall under entities. So if you are using pre-built hyphen invoice, all of the invoice related entities can be identified automatically. Let me run this and show you how it looks like. Yeah, in the results you can see we have the amount due, and it is a currency value, and the amount is this much. This is the symbol used, this is the code that has been used, this is the customer address, so which is of address value data type, and here we have house number as 123, PO box is none, we don't have that, road name is somewhere street, we have city as Melbourne, blah blah blah. All these different things have been extracted, and if you see the actual PDF, yeah, there you go. So 123 is the house number, somewhere street is the road number, your city, AZ 1234, all of these different details have been extracted. Even though I did not make any configurations, or even though I did not give any of this information in the entities, it was able to identify all of them properly. So that is the power of pre-built invoice. Similar to invoice, if you have a receipt, then you can use pre-built receipt, and just like how we are able to get the invoice amount and all those details, similarly for receipt you will get the items and the price of each item and all those sort of invoice related details. Also, for all of these different functions, you can get the polygon value as well. So if you know what a bounding box is, then you can use these XY coordinates with width and height, and you can draw bounding box in your document. Similarly, we have business card as well. So if you have any information like the phone number, address of the person in the business card, then those entities will also be extracted. Yeah, you can see addresses is a list of different elements. Each element is a document field, value type is address, and this is the actual value, house number, PO box, all these different things have been extracted. So if you want to create a custom function, you can do that as well in your using your Python code. You can do that, or you can do it directly from the Azure portal as well, and you can pass it here. So these are some of the most used functions in document intelligence. Okay, now let's take a look at the Flask application that I've built. So we have the app.py, which is using pre-built layout. So here I'm taking the text and the tables and I'm showing them in the UI. I'll activate my Conda environment. App.py. I'll go to the URL. Okay, so it's a very simple UI actually. So upload a document, choose a file. I'll select the same file for now, WordPress plugin sample. I'll click on analyze. In about 6 to 7 seconds it should be able to read everything and then give out the information. Yeah, there you go. So all of this is the extracted text. This is the first table, second table, third table. So in this way I'm able to use the pre-built hyphen layout to read the text and the tables properly. Depending upon your application and depending on the use case, we can change which sort of function we are going to use, or you can also create a custom function. With the help of custom entities, you can create a custom function and use it in your application. If you have made it this, that's pretty much it for today's video. So if you have made it this far into the video, then thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Thank you.